recording. We are live. We are live. Happy spring, everybody. Welcome to our 2018 Ostara ritual. I just finished welcoming everybody in the room. I'm so glad that you're here. Hopefully, you were able to join us for our standing invocation. Did you enjoy
Welcome
that?
to
our 2018. No. I thought it was really sweet of us to stand and greet the elements tonight. That's a really powerful thing to do. And we don't talk a lot about the elements, but I do want to say something briefly about it because I think it's really important. I do try to teach you about ritual as we go through. And the reason that we speak to the elements and the guardians of the gateways, or some people call them the guardians of the watchtowers. It's not actually a strictly pagan practice, although you do hear pagans address the guardians of the directions and the gateways. But it's actually a practice that crosses all kinds of boundaries and borders. It's very much a tradition, also a Native American tradition, very much a shamanic tradition, to work with the elements. And each time we approach a high holiday, we engage a different element, and tonight is the element of air. So part of my intention tonight, which is really hard for me because I'm a double fire sign with almost no air in my chart, although I'm a Libra rising. Part of my intention for tonight is to slow it down, stretch it out, and really urge you, because I'm going to create some spaciousness in our meditation tonight. The main question I have for you tonight, and I want you to carry it with you tomorrow and the rest of the days in early spring, is how can you create spaciousness in your life right now? What does spaciousness look like for you? I'll tell you a little bit about what it looks like for me, just to inspire you. So one of my sincere goals as a parent, and I made it this goal for myself, honestly, because I grew up with no spaciousness. I grew up in a very small house, immigrant family, overbearing parents, very loving, but like on me, like on it, right? I was a little naughty too. So it was good of them because I was always kind of testing the waters, like how much can I get away with, right? So in fairness, they should have been overbearing. I probably would have gotten in a lot more trouble if they hadn't. But I felt like I was trapped like this the whole time I was young. And I also had siblings, relatively close in age, lots of family around. I mean, you grow up in a big, fat, great family and you're going to feel like you're suffocating, right? So I used to dream of spaciousness. I used to dream of space to move. I used to dream of space to you share a bedroom with a bunch of people. You dream of your own space to sleep. You dream of a space to think. You need a space to dream. Because again, if you're you're young, and I don't know how many of you had experiences like this, but I was also told that my dreams weren't very realistic. So I didn't even have space to dream. Couldn't even find that little quiet place in my mind to go and imagine a different life for myself. And so I spent the rest of my adult life trying to create spaciousness for myself. And now I try to create it for other people in my life. I'm really conscious as a wife of creating space for my husband. Because I know that I don't want to be in a partnership that feels confining. And I also know that I'm in a lifelong partnership. So if you're going to be with somebody for a whole bunch of years, then you have to create some spaciousness for them to be who they're going to be and to express their needs and so forth. As a parent, I try to create spaciousness, but still hold boundaries so that my kids feel safe and they know what the limits are, because kids don't really want that much freedom. They may want it, but they can't function with it, right? It's not safe for them. So then they end up growing up with root chakra issues. So don't create too much spaciousness, because then your kids are not going to know what's safe and right? But I will tell you the opposite of spaciousness is suffocation. And are you breathing in your marriage? Are you breathing in your friendships? Can your kids breathe? Are they breathing too much? Are they hyperventilating? Where's the oxygen in your life? Who's got their mask on? Who doesn't have a mask on? Is it you? We talked about this too, didn't we? Just a couple days ago. So I want you to think about air tonight, not just in the context of our meditation, but I literally want you to think about how you're breathing in your life, and is there space for you to breathe? It's a really beautiful article, and I can't remember where I read it. I wish I had kept it, because it was one of those, Facebook stuff, like you read it and it's just gone and you can never find it again. Does that happen to you? It's a bane of my existence. It's a beautiful article. Somebody I love shared it too, and I can't remember who shared it. But what the article said is, it's actually a luxury in today's society to have time to think about how you feel. It is a luxury in our society to actually think about how you feel. So when I ask people how they feel and they just burst into tears, it's because either no one's asked them or they don't have time. It's almost like, don't ask me that right now, right? Where's the air there? Or I listen to people talk. I like to watch people, don't you? And I like to listen to people a lot too. And do you ever listen to them talk? It's like, and I'm just like, what's it like to be married to you?
Awesome.
I mean, with all love and due respect, it's like, oof. What's dinner conversation like, right? Like, is there space to become and to be? So we're going to look at that tonight. But I want you to perhaps think about a place in your life tonight that you can commit to creating space. And I get it, having lived in little tiny confined spaces all my life. Maybe you don't have a lot of space to spread out. If it's this much, bless you, make it yours. Find this much. Clean the crap off your night table and just make this much space for you. You don't have to put anything there. Let it be blank. It's your space and you claim it and you say, that's my space. When I look at that, I feel spacious. That could be a success for you tonight. They really could be. Okay. So we are going to do a beautiful ritual tonight. There's 2 parts to it. So we are going to call in the blessings of the element of air, and then we are going to use air to travel together to the Chalice Well. And I'm taking you to the Chalice Well in our visualization tonight for a reason. It always reminds me of spring. The Chalice Well in Glastonbury is said to be a very sacred place to Jesus Christ, depending on how far back you trace the lineage. But certainly it represents the goddess. And Glastonbury, England, is the heart chakra of the entire planet. Did you know that?
Wow.
If you look at ley lines and vortices, and because they've mapped chakras over them, the heart chakra is Glastonbury, England. It does not surprise me at all. And so we're going to fly using element of air, then we're going to land, and we're going to drink from the waters of the Chalice Well tonight. And we're going to take that as a chance to create spaciousness, not only outside of us, but within us too, and cleanse and purify. Because what does springtime represent if not renewal? And what are you renewing? Your vows to what tonight? Are you renewing a vow to yourself? Are you renewing a vow to, hopefully it's a vow to you. Are you renewing your commitment to your health and to your well-being? Are you renewing your commitment to peace, to being a peacemaker in your life? Are you renewing your commitment to taking a deep breath before you react in your life? Are you committing to opening your mind a little bit and not being so judgmental with others in your life? Are you committing to moving more slowly, perhaps, and not rushing through your life? That could be another way. But what are you renewing tonight? Are you renewing your faith in God tonight? Maybe something happened last year that tested your faith. Are you ready to come back? Right? This is a comeback time tonight, and all is welcome here. So I've got a bunch of candles. I'm working with Ostara, Activate, and Equinox, which were all of our tools for tonight. I'm actually going to work with all 3 candles. Whoop. And then we have our stones. And so we are working with all the things tonight. We are working with our golden healer Dambarite, which, if you have that stone, do you love that so much? It's the rarest Dambarite in the world. Came to us from Africa, and it was in your set. We're also working with Stitch Tight tonight. You know why Stitch Tight is so important for spring equinox? Boundaries. This is the boundary stone, and it's a loving boundary stone. It's a healthy boundary stone. So it's the separation of you and me. So everything else tonight is about integration, but there is something about spring where you do need to separate in order to create. There has to be a distinction between you and me. And so this helps to hold that distinction. Let me just tell you, if you're an empath and you don't own Stitch Tight, let's fix that, shall we? Because I'll tell you, the 2 that you really, really need, Izurine and Stitch Tight. Izurine creates a full metal auric boundary. You can't feel it. And in fact, people tell me that they have to put their Izurine down or stop wearing it in order to start to engage with people again. It's that powerful of an auric boundary. And then you have your Stitch Tight, which reinforces, especially for empaths, the boundary between client and healer, for example. And so Stitch Tight and Izurine, if you're having boundary issues, those are the 2 for you. Lithium quartz, which we also had in our set for you. The purple on your quartz point is your lithium, same as you take in your pills. And so this is a really good one for central nervous disorders and sleep disorders. It's very helpful for relaxation, especially at night. you had a beautiful tumbled piece of scolecite that actually shows the natural markings, which I think is really crazy. Scolecite is a member of the Synergy 12. It's one of the most important stones for manifestation that you can possibly work with. It's a master healer of all systems in the body. And so scolecite is extremely powerful. And then we had a beautiful skeletal celestial quartz point, which is one of the highest vibrational and the oldest quartz in the world. And so I brought you something very old to sort of hold the energy of the ancestors as we do this work toward integration. In your kit, by the way, are these. So what you do is you write your intention, and it will grow in your garden. It's full of seeds. Isn't it beautiful? So I put two, like I'm doing this actually with my daughter tomorrow. So I'm saving these because I'm going to do mine with her and then plant them in the garden. So in case you're wondering what these were in your set, they're full of seeds and they actually do flower. We tested them and they're beautiful. So those are in your kit too. So that's not for tonight. That's for tomorrow. Okay. Any questions about tools and what we're looking with tonight? You do have your dried herbs too, which are a beautiful offering. Did you see these? There's like all 7 colors of the chakra in your little herb tin. So I know, aren't they pretty? So you can use it as an incense, or you can scatter it, or you can leave it as an offering to Great Spirit. What I will tell you, as somebody who's been doing this work for a long time, when you go out in your garden the week of spring, the first week of spring, and leave offerings under all of the fruit trees and all of the flowers, I even leave offerings on my weeds. They tried really hard. They didn't know they were ugly, and they pushed up just like all those cute plants did. I leave my weeds sometimes because I feel so sorry for them. They're blooming and they don't know what a pretty weed you are. I'm that person though who will go to the Christmas tree lot and buy the weird tilted leaning tower of Pisa Christmas trees. So I'm probably not a good judge of what pretty plants are. By the way though, if you ever want to make something really healthy for yourself, and I learned this from one of my teachers who does it all the time, is you take root vegetables and distilled water and you boil them together, you simmer them and let it kind of simmer down. And she actually takes all the weeds from her garden, she does this in early spring, and puts it into the mix because it's got lots of good soil and nutrients. If you're pulling it from your own garden and it's all organic, then it's healthy and safe for you. She leaves all the dirt on the roots and on the and then she just strains it and drinks the broth. And it is full of every vitamin, every mineral. Your body will just thank you, thank you, thank you. And when I do it, I drink it like this. Like it's just broth in a cup, but I just sip it all day long. If you have autoimmune disorders or anything like that, it's just really helpful support for your immune system. And because your weeds grow naturally wherever you live, they're sort of attuned to your environment. So she has this really beautiful theory that your weeds are actually growing in your garden to supply you with the nutrients you need, and making that beautiful broth is a way of capturing all those nutrients and not letting anything go to waste. It's kind of sweet, isn't it? And it tastes good too. It tastes really good, especially you put garlic and onion and things in there. It's got a lot of flavor. So little spring recipe for you as well. Okay, so let's roll your shoulders back. I'm going to smudge it. When a problem comes along, you're going to smudge it. I'm so old.
Who needs to smudge over here?
Smudge it good.
Smudge it good.
Smudged up, you know your shows.
Thank you so much. I love that so much. And if you're wondering what that song is, don't do that to me. Let me feel young tonight. My kids used to call it mudging. They used to go, I think there's a ghost in my room. Can you mudge it? So funny. Let's mudge it. Okay. I usually would say there's so many ghosts in your room, we can't even begin to mudge them. Might as well just say hello and get comfortable. Okay. So, oh God, Nicole says she's gonna have Devo in her head now. I'm sorry. Cheers, Nicole. Things you didn't expect to experience tonight at Sage Goddess, right? I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to read you our, I wrote 2 invocations and I just want to read them both to you. I felt called, so roll your shoulders back, take a deep breath. Let's open our space to the guardians of the gateways once more. Tonight we greet you here, guardians of the East, at the entrance to your sacred temple on the day of your rebirth. And we see you, we honor you, we bow in your divine presence. And we welcome this first breath of spring, the renewal of all life, and we honor what is no longer living within us, around us. All of the cycles of life are integrated today. And aho, so it must be, because without death there is no life. We forget the principles of duality and polarity. These are the laws. Let us find refuge in the balance, equinox, equal night, equal light, equal you, and equal me. Equal masculine, equal feminine, equal light, equal shadow. Guardians of the East, hear our prayer and grant us passage to the land of dreams. New beginnings, breath of life. Help us to enjoy the sweet new beginning tonight together without fear or hesitation. Growth begins in the East, and you are welcome here. Guardians of the South, hear our prayer and grant us passage to the land of fire and courage. The will to create, the force of imagination. Help us to enjoy the sweet new beginning. Fearlessness begins in the South, and you are welcome here. Guardians of the West, hear our prayer and grant us passage to the land of water, the sweet oasis of visions and dreams. Help us to enjoy this sweet new beginning. Surrender begins in the West, and you are welcome here. And Guardians of the North, hear our prayer. Grant us passage to the land of trees, safety and security. Soul memories live in the North, and you are welcome here. Guardians of the spirit realms, hear our prayer and grant us passage to the land of souls. Ascension, peace, and angelic comfort live in the spirit realm, and you are welcome here. Guardians of the lower realms, realm of the mineral people, the bone people, root people, beings of the inner channels, telos, Middle Earth. Hear our prayer and grant us passage to the land of bones. Evolution, integration, and wisdom live here in the mineral kingdom, and you are welcome here. May your very being, my sweet brothers and sisters, vibrate with the crystals, the plants, and all the medicine teachers. May your soul know its way back to the realm of your ancestors, and may it find its way back once you have visited them to the realm of the living. May your body, brothers and sisters, know perfect health, your cells, your organs, your tissues, and your bones, no matter what their condition, renewed to their original and healthy state tonight, aligned to the core of your truth and your beauty. And on this first night of spring and always, so shall it be, as it has always been, and as it always will be, together we say, Amen. And so it is. May you be whole and healthy and well. Okay. The artwork for your kit, I just want to point it out to you because I thought it was really beautiful. Gabriel, who is our lead graphic designer here at Sage Goddess, created this art for you. And it is the Ostara goddess rising from the roots of earth and spreading the branches of her trees. Yeah. And it's this idea that what begins in the soil, in the dirt, in the trenches of your soul, ultimately rises up within you and expands out from you to the four corners of the universe. And one of my favorite quotes is, your thoughts are seeds and your mind is a garden. So you're either going to plant flowers or you're going to plant weeds. And this is such a representation. You can choose this year to create beauty and to help our planet and to heal our planet and support each other and yourself and me. Or you can choose not to create beauty this year. You can create destruction. Each one of you has the capacity to do great harm. And you know that. So in every moment, it's a choice. It really is a choice. That saying I always share with you from my early teacher, in every moment you're either blessing yourself or cursing yourself. You're either creating beauty or you're creating destruction. And so I want you to be conscious that it is always a choice that you have. And the universe endlessly wants to work through you, but it wants to work through you for the highest good of all beings, which may or may not be in alignment with all that you desire. And can you sit with that? Isn't it special? Okay, so we're going to light our candles. So tonight we are activating. And by the way, this activate set isn't just for tonight. This is actually designed to activate your light codes.
Ooh.
Did you know that? This is your light code kit. So after tonight, this should have a very prominent place on your altar. You actually can make an entire light code altar set. And if you don't know what light codes are, you haven't been hanging out with me enough. I'm actually getting ready to release the recorded pay-per-view version of my light codes class in case you missed it. And then there will be part 2 about dark codes and how to know whether you have dark code, whether you're consciously or subconsciously transmitting dark code, and how to transmute dark code. Does it make sense? So what that means is you came into this world with your own codes to help and heal yourself. Did you know that? You came into this life with codes to heal any illness you would ever suffer from. But the problem is people don't know what their codes are or how to activate them or even how they're communicating them. And vice versa, you also came in with destructive code. And so the whole work of life is to figure out what your codes are and to manage how you're communicating code. Some people consciously and willfully share dark code. And so that's what we know of as evil. And so because of the law of polarity, there's always, wherever there's light, there's shadow. Wherever there's good, there's evil, right? I don't like to use value-laden words, but there is polarity in the universe. And so this kit is designed to activate your light codes. And so you can always use it for that. Okay. So our candles are lit. Roll your shoulders back one more time. And then you have your Activate essential oil blend, by the way, which has your notes in your perfume are, let me make sure I read to you the exact right notes. Lavender Absolute, which is green lavender. It's not purple lavender. It's green because it's the first press. That's the strongest press with mandarin and green myrtle, which is for manifestation and revealing of codes. And then Nerolina, which is an essential oil we've never used in any other perfume. It's extremely rare. And it's an integration essential oil. Balances light and dark, positive, negative, masculine, and feminine. And so this is your Activate blend. Again, I would say use this blend very sparingly. A lot of magic went into making it. The oils are very specific. Even the proportion of the oils is specific and it's designed to activate code. So unless you're in the right mindset, I would not use this perfume. Does that make sense? You're in the right mindset tonight and the holiday is appropriate for it. But always be mindful. If your thoughts start to trail to a dark place while you're using this, stop what you're doing. Like really, you have to be completely focused because you'll start to channel and receive codes. What I would say is as you use this, if you're someone who's a writer, sit down with a blank notebook and just start writing. You'll actually start to write your codes. And what I tell people is start to write it almost like automatic writing with your non-writing hand, but light your candle, work with your stones, especially scolecite is a huge activator of light code, which is why it's in the Synergy 12. Any questions about the tools before we get started? I just want to make sure you guys all know what we have and what we're using and all those things. Okay, are you excited?
Yes.
Woo! Okay. Okay. So tonight, I want you to imagine that you have wings. Can you imagine that with me for just a minute? What would your wings look like? I always think of Maleficent, right? She has awesome wings, doesn't she? She's not really my favorite, but she has good wings. Okay. So what would your wings look like if you had huge wingspan? I want you to really stretch your arms out. We don't move enough. I'm actually starting choreography for a goddess movement class. Woo! I know. It's going to be just super basic, like nothing super crazy. Stuff that you would feel comfortable doing, but we need to move in our bodies more and we just don't.
Belly dance.
It's soft belly dance. It's very slow. It's very syrupy. Like it's a good workout, but it's not anything crazy. But just to get you moving. So Lori would have butterfly wings. What kind of wings would you like to have tonight? Big wings. Yeah, like the wings of Ma'at. That's beautiful. So good. Phoenix wings. I like that. I always think of like big moth wings. I don't know why, but yeah. Like big splotches of color and stuff on them. I don't know. Big peacock, right? Like, big peacock feathers just stretching out from you, behind you. It's so good. Oh my gosh. We know peacocks are kind of jerks. There's about 5,000 of them that live in my neighborhood, and they take half an hour to cross the street, and they do not care that you're sitting there waiting. They're like, really? And they won't even look at you. You'll be like, hello. And they're like, nope, I'm going to take half an hour to walk here. And you can honk, and they literally will turn around and just go slower. I'm not kidding. They're kind of jerks. And the little ones are kind of jerks too. They're like, yeah, I still don't have. My dad says I don't have to stop for you or whatever. So anyway, back to the task at hand. Big wings. Okay. So I want you to extend your wings. You ready? Out from your back. Past you, behind you, big wings. What's your wingspan like? How many of us live like this? When I was little, I tried not to take up a lot of space. I had siblings who had a lot of needs, and I had parents who were very busy. So I spent the whole first 15 years of my life trying to be as small and as not needy as possible. Does that make sense to a lot of people? Probably so, right? Now I'm like, take up my space, right? Take up your space. Make space for each other. Okay, beautiful wings. So I want you to begin to feel your wings moving now because you're going to take flight. Just let them move. You've been waiting for this, haven't you? Everything about tonight is light, airy, spacious, open, possible, easy tonight, easy. Like almost, I want you to feel for a moment like you almost could just get up and fly. You ever have dreams that you fly or float?
Mm-hmm.
I have so many dreams where I'm on the ceiling of a room looking down. Do you ever have those dreams? Like I'm crawling on the ceiling of a room, yeah? You want to fly. You want to fly. It's okay. One day you will. And so let those wings begin to lift you off the floor from where you are, out of the room where you are right now. And we're all going to head north. We're going to fly our way to visit the goddess in the heart of our planet. So I hope you'll fly with me tonight to beautiful Glastonbury, England. Feel those wings expand, take you over the Pacific, over the Atlantic, as if everything in the universe just wants you to float. There's wind supporting your wings, and it's effortless. You don't have to think about where you're flying, because the universe has just got you. You're going one direction tonight. And so let it take you on those beautiful winds to that sacred place. And feel yourself rise, because you are returning to the mother. We go to the Chalice Well. We are going to the center of the womb of the mother. And I want you to imagine tonight, as we transport ourselves using this beautiful element of air and engaging our wings and our feathers and all the lightness of the season, I want you to imagine now landing. You've reached your destination. So now we are in the land of the holy water. So beautiful. Remember, the Chalice Well is created with the Vesica Pisces. Have you seen the Chalice Well? We'll have to put a picture on the event page if you haven't seen it. It's actually the Vesica Pisces on the lid of that well. And that is the seed of all creation. It's the seed of all creation. No matter who you are, your heart beats in Glastonbury. They call it, like I said, the heart chakra of the planet. And so what does it mean for you to land here tonight on the opening night of this most important season for all of us to return to the mother and to be here, to be brought on wings of light to receive the waters of renewal and rebirth? And so I want you to imagine approaching this beautiful well. If you haven't seen it, just know it's a beautiful well. It's beautiful carved lid of the well that opens and the water within. You can't take the water from the well anymore, but it's there and it's blessed and has been for all time. So I want you to imagine kneeling in front of this beautiful well with me on this first night of spring. And I want you to take a moment before you do anything else. And I want you to scan your body from head to toe. And spirit guides who are here with us tonight, guardian spirits of the season of spring, we call in our personal spirit guides. We call in the ascended masters and teachers. We call in light beings from all the dimensions, gateways, and portals. We call in the star beings from all of the galaxies to attend to us tonight. And we ask that you show us in your body where we need to activate healing code tonight. All of our light codes for healing. Where do we need to activate these tonight for the season ahead? Where do we need to bring the waters of renewal into our body? And let's begin at the top of your head. Where in those uppermost chakras do you need healing? Is it your mind? Is it anxiety and depression? What's happening between your crown and your throat chakra? Do you need to speak your truth? Do you need to figure out what your truth is? Who needs to hear your truth? Do you need to work on your intuition? Is it blocked? Are you not seeing it clearly anymore? Are you not getting the messages anymore? Do you need the renewal there? Maybe you lost your faith. Maybe you need a renewal of your faith and your trust. Okay, and then let's scan down further from the throat chakra to the solar plexus, your center of truth, your center of love, your center of power. Yeah? So where in these chakras, spirit guides, do we need to activate healing code tonight? Code to connect us with our truth. Code to connect us to how we love and the love that we need to express. Code to connect us to our power. Where do we need to activate that? I will tell you, I think, there's so much conversation right now about what many in our circle are referring to as the event. There's a lot of conversation about dimensional healing that's happening on our planet right now. I can tell you the only solution for our planet in 2018 is love. So as we approach the heart chakra of the planet and you are opening your heart tonight, I'm going to ask you to really renew your commitment to love in your life. And I want you to renew your commitment to love even the hardest to love people in your life, because it is the path to healing for our planet. You may think that you not loving someone in your life doesn't affect me, but because we are one, it actually does. And when I don't love fully, when I don't forgive, it affects you, because you and I are one. So I'm asking you to love more, and I'm asking you to forgive more, and I'm committing to you tonight that I will love more and I will forgive more so that we can meet each other there. Does that make sense? Again, it's crazy if you think that your individual needs and actions don't affect everybody else. It isn't even based in physics. So opening this, and then let's go from the solar plexus down to the root and even down to the earth star. Where in your center of power, your center of passion, and your center of protection do you need renewal? Are you not trusting people? Do you feel unsafe? Have you lost your creativity? When was the last time you had physical intimacy with yourself? Get a partner. That's an excuse. And then again, how do you feel about power? Do you need to renew your power and maybe ground your power in love instead of the lower vibration emotions? Yeah. And so let's call in all of the healing codes for the lower chakras tonight. If you're overweight, that's a huge sign that you need healing code in the lower chakras. Because especially if it's weight you can't lose. When people come to me and say, I'm not even eating very much food and I still can't lose the weight, that's lower chakra. And you won't lose the weight until you healed the lower chakras. So we'll do that tonight. We'll call all those healing codes in for you. I love that. That's okay. You know what? You can have intimacy tonight with yourself. I mean, don't do it right now, but maybe later. I don't need proof. I will totally take your word for it that you did it. I'm really proud of you. It's weird, but I'm really proud of you. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes and crystallize that vision of that beautiful well in front of you. Focus all of your energy, all of your attention, all of your intention on this moment right here, right now. Feel what it feels like to be at this place at this time. Allow the energy of your heart to connect to the heart of this place. You can even imagine a green beam of light connecting your own physical heart to the heart of the planet here at Glastonbury. And you don't ever have to go there to have this connection. It's as real now as it will ever be for you. And you connect your heart to the heart of the planet. And then pay attention to your heartbeat for just a second. Can you beat with the planet? Yeah? Just feeling, just for a minute. I want you to reach your hands out. And I want you to imagine dipping your hands into that well. And to the guides and guardians of the Chalice Well, and there are many who caretake that space, we ask your permission to receive these waters tonight. We ask that they bless us as we take them within. And we give thanks for the chance to connect this way with the center of love on our planet. So I want you to take those waters, and I want you to imagine bringing them to your lips and receiving. I want you to imagine really drinking those chalice waters. And I like to visualize every drop as you take those waters and you ingest them, swallow. And imagine that those chalice waters are moving through every part of your body. And as they pass every inch, every organ, every cell, every vein, every artery, as they pass through every system in your body, healing everything through the throat, through the heart, healing every part of your digestive tract. And I want you to imagine that water even moving outside of your digestive system, out, down over your shoulders, through every vein and vessel, down into your fingers, crossing through, letting that water penetrate the cartilage and the bone, And if you are unwell in a specific place, I want you to take more of that water from the well, receive it, and imagine that sending that water down to the exact place where you need healing tonight. These are the waters of healing and renewal, and you're activating healing codes for your own body tonight. So receive this healing. Where does it need to go? And I'm just taking it in for myself in all the places that it needs to be sent. And now let's reach in and take more of that water, and let's take it internally, but let's take it now for our emotions, the healing, the renewal of all of our feelings, sending that water down over your heart space, maybe letting that water find its way up to your sweet brain, attending to all the different parts of your brain that need to be healed. Maybe there's trauma, physical trauma. I just imagine those waters rushing over every part of your body, just receiving, receiving, receiving. And as those waters come through us and over us, spirit guides, we ask that you activate all of the codes and all of the places that need to be healed tonight. And pay very close attention to anything that you're seeing or sensing right now. Symbols are important. Numbers are important. Letters are important. And I will tell you, because I've had this experience, your spirit guides, if you give them permission tonight, can recode you without you even knowing. It's not a conscious process. So if you're open to that, just say it now. You can say it just quietly to yourself. I receive the recoding tonight. I allow myself to be recoded for health. What are you allowing yourself to be recoded for tonight? And you can say it. Are you recoding your financial beliefs, your financial relationship, your relationship with money? Are you recoding your physical health? Are you recoding your relationship to love and intimacy? Maybe you haven't been able to receive it or give it. So let's recode all of that. Are you recoding your relationship to peace? What is your code for peace? And do you need to be recoded? Maybe you haven't quite received that code yet. What are you recoding tonight? Isn't that beautiful? So beautiful. And then let's reach down and take one more handful of these incredible waters. And what I like to do is imagine returning them to Gaia herself and spreading those waters far and wide. And sweet Gaia, we ask that you take the energy of those healing waters, and we ask tonight that you activate the planet's own light codes. We ask that you activate all light code on the planet for healing, ascension, release of old patterns, old ways, old behaviors. We ask that you recode our planet to be in alignment with truth, to be in alignment with prosperity for all beings, to be in alignment with peace in all countries, and to be most importantly, in alignment with the highest good of all of those living at this time. What serves the highest good, Great Spirit? That is what we seek tonight on this evening of balance. It's not about you or me. It's about us. It's not about the planet or you. It's about the union. It's not about choosing health or prosperity. It's about recoding your entire life for optimal happiness. So good. And right now, I just want you to ask your guides, ask them if you're not understanding what your codes are, if you're curious about your codes, give your guides permission right now. Show me my codes. Activate them, show them to me, teach me how to work with them. Show me the symbols, show me the numbers, show me the letters, show me it comes in all different forms for all different people. Ask them to show you what your codes are. Ask them to show you how you transmit your codes. And even some of your coding from childhood, right? Like what you received from your parents or grandparents or your own genetic coding. You can recode your own genetic profile. This is what we call quantum healing, because in the fifth dimension, there are multiple iterations of you in different states of health and aging. You know this, right? So in the fifth dimension, no matter what your health is now, there is an iteration of you that is completely healthy and well. And so what we do in quantum healing is we go out and we access those codes and we pull them into the third dimension. If that makes no sense to you, again, you need to hang out with me a little bit more. So maybe you don't know the code for healing right now for your sciatic nerve. But in fifth dimension, there is an iteration of you that does not have sciatic nerve pain. And so you need to go in, discover the code to relieve that pain and pull it into 5D and then activate it. Does that make sense? It sounds easy in a way. It's code harvesting, but people have been doing it for a long time. How do you think people don't age the same way? How do you think that happens? Because there's a 5D version of you that is younger and more youthful. Can you not access that code? Bet you can. Makes weight loss a lot easier. There's a lighter, happier version of you. You got to bring the code in. Does that make sense? You can change your metabolism. You can change your physical state. You can change from sorrow to joy, but you have to activate the code. And guess what? You have to take a hell of a lot of responsibility because you have to acknowledge where you are today in order to go and do that. Does that make sense? So if you're in a state of pretending that everything's okay right now, you're not going to go into 5D and pull in your healing codes. Woo! So good. And so I'm going to give you one more shot. If there's anything else you want to pull in the water for, reach your hands in, pull it up towards you. You can even store the water. So maybe you take this one in as storage. You want to do that? And so take the water within, but call it into storage to receive and hold that water. Maybe it's water that you're going to save and share energetically with someone in your life who needs that healing at some point. That's possible. Maybe you're going to pull it into storage for your own needs later this year or next year, something like that. But you can call that into storage for yourself. That's right. Yep. The folks who came back from space and had different DNA. How do you think that happened? Hello. I was just telling someone this morning, I was interviewed in a podcast, and she said, what's your goal? And I said, my goal is by the time I'm 80 years old and I'm doing full moon ritual in my retirement home live, because I'm going to do it. I'll get my walker and I'll do it. My goal, I won't need a walker. My goal is that people won't think this is weird or look at me funny when I say pulling in healing codes from 5D. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'll go get my code. Why didn't I think of that? God, thank you for the reminder, right? That's my goal. So by the time I'm an old lady in my retirement home, nobody's like, that's really weird. I can't believe you just said that. We're getting there. Okay. And so now what I want you to do is I want you to call your attention to that line, that center line. I want you to feel your connection to the earth, and I don't want you to extend your arms out, and I want you to feel your branches, feel your connection to the sky. And I want you to take a moment to consciously receive all of the energy that you have called in tonight. The healing codes for every part of your physical body, the healing codes for your auric field, the healing codes for your mind and your spirit, and just giving thanks. Giving thanks for your healing that's already on the way, giving thanks for your integration, giving thanks for today and the beauty of the season ahead. Giving thanks for spaciousness in your life. Giving thanks for possibility. Giving thanks for expansion. Even just giving thanks for your ability to stretch your arms out and give thanks. That's something to be thankful for. So it is. And so now I want you to rise from where you've been seated in front of this beautiful well. And I want you to feel yourself stand, roll your shoulders back, and I want you to re-engage your wings. And just slowly start to move, moving your wings, noticing your own movement. And just when you're ready and so effortless in a way, just starting to allow your wings to lift you from where you are, this beautiful place surrounded by beauty and magic and history and legend. Just letting your wings lift you and transport you and start to move you from Glastonbury back to wherever you're traveling back home tonight. We're all arriving back in Los Angeles, just letting our wings carry us. And as you travel back, just enjoy the process of flight. Again, the most important part of spring is you learning how to be easy. You learning how to surrender. You learning how not to resist. When you float, it is absolute effortlessness on your part. There's no struggle here right now. And can you go through the rest of the season like this? Every time you start to feel yourself tighten and struggle, I want you to just stretch your arms out. Like imagine me just going, nope, wings up. We're not struggling. We're floating. We're moving. We're flying. There's no struggle. It's all easy now. And because at your fingertips, you have everything you need. You have everything that you need. And just allowing yourself to come gently back to present time, letting your wings just sort of drop you, help you land back where you belong, back in the room, starting to notice your physical body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. It was a long flight. It was first class all the way. Wings up, that's right. Whenever you start to struggle, you know, it's that beautiful meme that goes across social all the time. We did an iteration of it at Sage Goddess too that says, when I stop struggling, I float. Hello. But how many of you are in the water, like, struggling really hard? And what good does it do except really exhaust you? You know? How many of you are tired? I feel tired. And I think it's because 2017 was really hard. 2017 was a really difficult year. And now we're in this 11 year with all this manifestation energy, and we know that it's really about to happen now. So I really want you to rest tonight, almost symbolically. Like if you can, I have little kids. I know it's hard. You can't just go home and go, sorry, go to bed. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy your dinner. Dinner's in the microwave, right? Like you have to do the thing. But as soon as you can, go to sleep tonight. I would really encourage you to. If I went home with you, I would make you tea and put you in bed and pull little covers up over you and kiss your forehead and turn the lights off. So do that for yourself, right? Because you cannot, the number one thing you can't do, and I'm always telling you this too, your job is to learn to live in rhythm with nature. And if you don't get that exhaustion out, you're not going to have the energy to do what you need to do in the season ahead. Yeah. And it's really hard because some of us are still doing the work of saying goodbye to what we had to leave behind in 2017. For some of us, it was people. You know what I mean? It's really tricky. And we're human. So it's not that you forget what you have to leave behind in 2017, but don't carry it around like baggage. Set it down. It's okay to set it down. Doesn't mean you don't love them any less. Doesn't mean you forget. That just means you're here now and you need to be light. You can't fly both of you or all 10 of you. You can only fly you. So we give thanks. I'm going to invoke the element of air as I extinguish my candles for all that was activated tonight in you and in us. Because again, you activating your codes is a gift to me. There's no other way to look at it. When you do you, it's an absolute gift to me because I feel every ounce of it. And when you don't do you, it harms me. And when I don't do me, it harms you. So we have to begin to see ourselves in a symbiotic relationship that way, or we won't sort of make it out of this in a good place together. Okay. And so releasing all that energy, I want you to imagine sending all this energy that we raised tonight up from all these branches. I want you to bring it down within, and then I want you to imagine sending that energy down into the earth itself. And Gaia, we would send all of the energy from tonight's ritual down to you, knowing that you can hold, transmute, and use this energy. We ask that you send this energy on our behalf to anyone and everyone who can use it. Whatever aspects of this energy are not already in usable light form, we ask that you transform and transmute it to be such, so that nothing that we created tonight is wasted in any way, but also so that we are not holding the energy of the experience. And then just letting the energy of our circle unwind tonight. Guardians of the North, we have invoked you twice We invoked all the guardians tonight twice. I'm not going to release you twice. The guardians of the Northern Gateway, we give thanks tonight. To all of our ancestors who are watching us move through this cycle once again, we thank you for your gracious presence. We thank you for the lessons that you teach. We thank you for the guidance that you give. And so guardians of the Northern Gateway, we release you with love. Guardians of the Western Gateway, we commit tonight one last time to releasing anything from 2017 to your waters that cannot come with us into this big part of this year. We really commit tonight. We're not gonna dwell. We're not going to linger. We're going to release all of that tonight. And we thank you for taking from us what is too heavy for us to carry. Release you from the circle with love. Guardians of the Southern Gateway, we showed up tonight in a big way with bravery and courage, and we thank you for mirroring that bravery and that courage back to us. Help to keep us strong when we become afraid. Help to keep us focused when we become confused. And help to keep us engaged with our passion and our desire in the season of growth ahead. We release you with love. And last but not least, Guardians of the Eastern Gateway, tonight has been your night. We thank you for the breath of life and the new beginning that this holiday represents. We give thanks for the season ahead and all that will come to us through it. We ask for blessings for each other. I ask for a blessing upon every single person in this room, watching online right now, and anyone who will watch this ritual at a later time. I ask that your families are blessed with good health and happiness and time together to enjoy each other. I ask that your homes are blessed and safe, and that they become centers of happiness and creativity and laughter. I ask that you are blessed with perfect health and complete prosperity so that all of your needs are met. Your material needs, your emotional needs, your spiritual needs are met. I ask that in every aspect of your life that you see the hand of your Creator at work, and that hand moving in your life become a source of inspiration and peace for you. I ask for these blessings upon each soul here online and who will participate later. I ask with gratitude and with humility. Amen, aho, and so it is.
Amen. And so it is.
And thank you.
Thank you.
It was cute. The feed's like, bless you too. That's very sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So energy works. Everything you send out comes back to you. A bunch full. Okay. So what are you going to do tonight?
Fly home.
Fly home.
Literally.
That's right. You know what to do with these, yeah? Okay. So I'm using one and giving one to my daughter. These are seeds in paper that came with your kit. Hopefully you didn't throw them away. Somebody online said, I didn't get those. And I'm like, oh, you probably threw them away and didn't realize you threw them away. You write your intention for spring growth and then plant it and it will bloom. Wildflowers. So plant it somewhere where it can kind of grow wild and free is what I would say. Don't constrain it. You can put it in a pot too. It'll work for you perfectly well there too. All right. Happy spring, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you soon. There's much more to come. In the meantime, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. With that. I hope.